matalanga sambala wata karabu.
Gomara, Ruata Italia, Bucanetali Gorayen, Ruata Italia, Wata Karabuye, Mata Kelim Alekevu, Mutugi Waja, Itaga Marufu, Mutugi Waja, Ululu Mutugi Waja, Itaga Marufu, Mutugi Waja, Wata Karabu. Sambala wata karabu oh wata karabu wata karabu oh wata karabu wata karabu wata karabu wata karabu wata karabu wata karabu walele wata karabu wata karabu wata karabu la wata karabu wata karabu wata karabu. Hey, hey! Wata karabu, 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 walele, wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu, walele.
Hey, let us talk, viewers. Good evening to those who are in Western Hemisphere, Canada, America, Mexico. Early morning to those who are in Europe, across South Sudan, Egypt, Sudan, all the way to South Africa. And I believe it is morning already in Australia, Japan, China, Malaysia, and elsewhere. Happy to be with you guys here tonight. And it is episode 4, which is we wrap up our conversation that we started last week. 4 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, about injustice, reconciliation, healing, and tonight we are going to talk about the two-part, which is it will entail reconciliation, healing, and coexistence. So I think those 3 titles, they come together. But before embark into our conversation, tahiyya khasa مشاهدين بتاع Let Us Talk. I am pleased to be with you tonight. This is a prime time on Let Us Talk. We look forward to have a healthy conversation. It is Let Us Talk, all of us who will be talking. It is not Rikujo alone who is going to be doing the talking. So I look forward for your contribution. I look forward for your participation so that to make this conversation healthy. مرحب بكم. تحية خاصة بالنسبة لكل الذين انضموا والحينضموا فيما بعد and those who will come and watch the video. I will start with Let Us Talk decorum before I get into the business. We adopted a new message that we send a message of humanity, a message that, please talk to a friend, talk to a brother, talk to a sister, a nephew, a cousin, somebody that been a while that you never talked to them. Try to reconnect with them, because with the stress of coronavirus, it is killing us mentally, emotionally, psychologically, in all aspects of life. الكورونا ده مش قاتل بس لما انه it suffocate you, it attack your respiratory system او الجهاز التنفسي بتاعك, لكن it impact us in different aspects. With the lockdown that started in my province 2 days ago, officially, so everything been shut down, no access to school, no access to restaurant, no access to anything. So, people are back into their own little space. So therefore, there is a lot going on. With the stress with the corona, I challenge everybody here on this show. I don't mean to embarrass you who will tell me that they are not eating a little bit too much. Distant بينهم talaja is not that too close. Instead of making social distance with other human being, we try to be more friendly to our fridge. So we travel to our talaja very frequently. Whether there is a food there is a drink, there is alcohol, there is whatever. So we are overdoing it. And no activity, no movement. So this is bad. It is really for our well-being. So I am not a doctor, but I'm just a brother, an older brother here. I encourage you, please talk to that friend, call them, tell them that you care about them, tell them that their life means something, because you don't know what they are going through. Just check on them, let them feel that they are important. And if 3, 4, 5 of us can do those random phone calls just to encourage a friend, a brother, a sister, a cousin, an uncle, a son, a daughter, it is a life changer. You may save life. You never know. And this is something the last couple of weeks we have been repeating it. And I will repeat it. You don't know, maybe that guy is trying to continue to overdose himself to drink all night long. But when you call and you have that conversation with them, hey, what is wrong with you, Grikuju? You don't sound all right. What is happening? Are you drinking? Why you are drinking? It is Monday. It is Tuesday. It is Wednesday. No, this is not good for you. Last time we talked, you are kind of a little bit too tipsy. Please calm down, cut it off. What is happening? زي ما إنه بيقولوا المريسة ما بهي المشكلة ولا المخدرات ده ما بهي المشكلة، لأنه بكرة الصباح أنت لما تصحى بيفك من راسك، لما البيت يقطع أنت جعان، أنت عايز يقاجك، عايز شنو. يمكن شلت دين بتاع مريسة still it is not there, you did not pay for it. So زودت لنفسك مشكلة. وهذا بذكرني قصة بتاعت السودان الجنوبي في باص بتاع حاج يوسف. It is just a joke. فباس بدا حاج يوسف من خرطوم ماشي لحاج يوسف دخل سكران، وبعد كده المرأة مظلمة شينة عايز يضايقوا على أساس إنه يلا يا كمساري الباص ده لازم إنه يجي في كوبر يا عشان إنه في الناس هنا شكلهم مش ولا بد. ف السكر جاي له براها كده قال له والله مريسة بتاعي الفراسي ده بكرة لما نوم أصحى ولا حتى لو إذا دخلوني في كوبر جلدوني ولا أي حاجة هيفك بكرة مريسة بتاعي ده هيقطع، لكن أنت بشناتك ده شنو بيغيروا. This is just a joke. Anyway, good evening to you, brothers and sisters. Very special greeting to my sister Tina Romano, and of course my brother-in-law is sitting next to her. Sorry, they are watching. Greeting brother James. Special greeting to Favor Majulu, all the way from Netherlands. Good to see you. Greeting to my brother that disappeared for some times, Ali Bakot. Good to see you. Brother Kikosos. Nicholas, always you are here on Zoom TV, on Let Us Talk. Your presence is well appreciated. This is your place. Good to see you. Ali Bakot, I hope you are doing well with the kids. Everything is going well with you, regardless of, the bumpy life. And if I did not mention your name, Facebook is playing us. We cannot see all people who are here, whatever they are. We cannot see the name, but I will try to do my best, to recognize everybody in this conversation tonight. Thank you. What I'm trying to say here, let us start with Adabiyat. Let us talk, which is, just a little bit of housekeeping. We can have kind of a protocol in place. كل زول بيحترم الثاني. احنا بنشجع الرأي والرأي الآخر. When you are coming, if you are going to be a participant or if you are writing a comment, please just be moderate and, put something positive. People are stressed with everything what is going around them. Financial stress, مشاكل بتاعت أسرة، ناس قاعدين يموتوا، شنو كل زول خايف إنه what will happen to them. So please, just let us have a civil conversation, civil talk, whereby each and every one of us will have their opinion, and those opinions, let us learn from each other. Too bad I am nasaboba ma jiddo zaman ma nasabui في zaman بتاعت كروبوتو. I'm just kidding. كروبوتو it is ليلة بتاعت قصص برتان كريش. ناس بيحكوا قصص وانتم بتتذكروا قصص بتاع شمس الدين الشجاع، وقصة بتاع عبد النفاش، وقصة أبو حليمة، وقصة بتاعت what do you call الغول ذات السبع رؤوس، والبنت اللي إنه بيحطوها جنب البير على أساس إنه الكول يجي ياكله وبعد كده يطلع مويه للناس والحاجات دي. So we don't have access to those great things anymore. This is whereby through this social media network, this is our new community. I never claimed that to be the big brother, but to somewhat I'm a little bit one of the older brother in the village within the South Sudanese community. So whereby it is time we sit around Jambo Shkrongo at Abnara Lino Nasbiegodu for Jambo, and we talk about things that bother us. It is completely different. Dunya used to be Bakir. ناس عايشة في الثبات ونبات، ما في حاجة اللي بيقلق ناس، ما في حاجة اللي إنه بيسبب أمن، عدم الأمن والاستقرار. بيحدد عيال بيكتسبوهم في الشوارع لمدارس، بنات بيكتسبوهم، نسوان بيكتسبوهم، ومش عارف إيه بيقتلوهم وكلام بالشكل ده. الدنيا كان بخير but time now is completely different. So please let us have a healthy conversation, a conversation that you and I, all of us, we will be benefiting from it. If you have a counter argument, just make your argument stronger. You don't have to be abusive to my humble self or to the participant who might come or the viewers or somebody who is gonna watch this video at a later time. Please just let us have a civil conversation. There is a lot going on in our society. Also encourage you when you are coming, put something appropriate. You know, this is not the place to show your six-pack. It's not a place to show your, silicone stuff or plastic stuff that you got. No, this is not a place for it. This is a place you want to listen to some idea, to have a different thought and different idea. Also, when you are coming, please come sober. كان انت اكلت زوريا ولا ركبت فيل ولا شربت حاجة تاني شوية لانه بيخليك لسانك ببدأ بربط. Please refrain from not to be a participant. Write your comment to be moderate. Also encourage whoever gonna come, make your camera more stationary, more stable to avoid any accident. Camera may will fall or will flip accidentally, will show the part of the house that you don't want to show or whatever it is, or also encouragement precisely when you are coming to our talk show and you want to be a participant, make sure على اساس انه في بنطلون ولا في سروال تحت القميص ولا البدله اللي انت لابسه، لانه we had couple accident, people coming to show on Foco, they are not wearing anything. بس جانا لباس تحت البدله او قميص. So this is ugly, this is uncivil. Also when the camera is shaky, it causes trouble to those who are have epilepsy, المعروفة مرض الصرع, if the translation is correct. So those with epilepsy, when an image is shaky, it will disturb them, it will mess up their brain. So ممكن إنه it will aggravate them. So that is why we encourage people, make your camera stationary, don't make it shaky. With that note, I believe all of you are familiar with our Zoom decor. Yeah, it is Zoom, it is Let Us Talk. It is the same, they are sister network, and I'm موجود هناك and I'm here. So that is why don't be surprised if I mention Zoom several times, because it is part of the network that I belong to. Tonight, our topic is about reconciliation, healing, and coexistence. And let us start with the reconciliation. Reconciliation, it is maybe it roots goes deep into the Christian faith. That is why I put my cross proudly today, because the concept of crucifixion, and it is about the reconciliation. And God wants to reconcile with us, want to reconcile with human being, because Adam and Eve, they committed the original sin. And for God to forgive them, to reconcile with them, to bring them closer to Him as His children again, reconciliation must take place. And to reconcile somebody, the Bible said, the price for the sin is death. And therefore, somebody got to die so that to reconcile our relationship with God. And if anybody, all of us, we are sinner. If you commit any sin, that is mean that you must die. Then يمكن cycle بتاعت الحياة كان ما وصل لنا, كان انتهى somewhere هناك مع ناس نوها, or if they are lucky يمكن وصل لإبراهيم and that's it. لكن القصد بتاعت الله كان قصد طيب على أساس إنه to reconcile, and that reconciliation comes through sending his beloved children so that to come and pay a full price for our sin, and by doing so to be humiliated, to be crucified, to die on the cross of shame, whereby to rejuvenate us, to give us a new life, to give us a reconciliation. So when you think about it, we did wrong to God. Sorry, I'm not theologist, but this is just my humble understanding. We did wrong to God. We committed wrong. فحق بتاع ربنا. بعد كده هو اللي بادر على أساس إنه to reconcile with us, to forgive us, to send his beloved son so that to die on the cross, so that to give us life. عشان إنه إحنا ما نموت من أجل الخطيئة. It sounds complicated. لكن God is setting example for us, setting the bar very high. So إذا إحنا البشر كلتنا في حق بتاع ربنا عنده استعداد على أساس إنه يسامحنا, يغفر لنا, to reconcile us and to send somebody to pay the price for our sin. So I believe, if we claim to be Christian, so what is our core belief? Our core belief, so we have to replicate, because God created us on his image. So we should be ready and willing to forgive as God has forgiven us. This is whereby he sent his son. Okay. Now, this reconciliation, it is, I believe, within our traditional way of living. Maybe the concept is there, but it is not that clear. It is a little bit different, but Christianity make it crystal clear as a mud. زي ما إنه بيقولوا. Now, it is hard for us to forgive. But also it is, on contrary, it is harder to forget. But we need to follow God guideline, since he forgive us and he reconciled with us. That is why he sent Jesus Christ to build the broken bridge. So it is our responsibility. Why not to reach out? It sounds kind of impossible to reach out to those who did us wrong, to those who kill us, to rape us, to the looters, to those who did us wrong, enact us, push us out of our ancestors' land, to tell them that you are forgiven. Yeah, it is a little bit hard, but الحاجات بتاع الدنيا ده الكل فاني، لكن أغلى حاجة فوق الأرض ده هو قيمة بتاعت إنسان. إذا أنت فقدت بيت، فقدت أرض، الأرض ده بيعود نفسه في يوم من الأيام. أرض واسع كتير في جنوب السودان، لما إنه في حتة ذاته لحد يوم ما إنه أحفادنا هيموتوا، no human being بيكون وصل فيه يدوس قطعة بتاعت الأرض ده يلمسه. It is true. Then what it will take على أساس إنه لأنه أغلب الحاجات اللي فيه مشكلتنا حوالينه أراضي بتاع ancestors were being taken. Okay. ده أرض دفنوا فيه حبوبتي، ده قبر بتاع أبوي هنا، قبر بتاع أمي هنا. With simple logic, You and I موجود في أمريكا في أستراليا wherever you are. إذا أنت مت you will be lucky لو إذا دفنوك or maybe you will get incriminated في قوس بتاع صلصة صغير كده يحرق الرماد بتاعه يدوا لأهلك. ضمان شنو ذاته الرماد ده بيكون ده الرماد بتاعك أنت المتة. It is just a moral thing. We get ourselves emotional attached to that box. Anything can happen to that box. حريق ممكن إنه يحصل في بيت ده. Something can happen and that box will disappear. زي قصة بتاعت إنه الحرامي اللي جا سرق في إحدى البيوت here within North America. I believe the story is in Canada, in Alberta precisely. And then ضمن الحاجات اللي إنه سرق ولقى صندوق كويس كده. I decided to take that box. وإذا ده إنه دي الرفات أو الرماد بتاعت أبو الأسرة. So الحرامي جا سرق الجثة بتاعت أبو الأسرة with him مشاله وما شابه. when they start posting through local media وكلام بالشكل ده بترجعوا من الحرامي لأنه جا سرق البيت. they don't want anything. They can take whatever he took and he might even get rewarded. بس يرجع الصندوق اللي فيه جثمان ده. In contrary, when you think about it, we travel around the globe في بواكر في طائرات ومش عارف ايه. ووب طيارة ضربوا بصاروخ زي ما انه الإيرانيين ضربوا صاروخ ولا زي ما روسيا ضرب طيارة ولا طيارة بس حرك فوق المحيط كفالة شر. You know في زول بيعرف مال الجثة بتاعك على أساس إنه فلان فلان سرق حقك فلان قتل حقك مش عارف ايه. ما في زول بيلاقي جثة بتاعك. So الحجة بتاعت إنه ده محل دفنوا فيه حبوبتي ولا دفنوا فيه جدي. It is something morally, just emotionally we attach ourselves to it. But I will come to your question, brother Gatij. I will leave the question here in a bit. We need to find a way. We cannot continue killing each other. When Jesus came, Jesus said, I am here not to change the law of Moses, but I came to support it, to put emphasis on it. So إذا قلنا لين بلين والسن بسن والله القرية كله هيفضل عميان وكل الناس هيموتوا. قتلتوا منا نقتل منكم, and the cycle of killing will continue. I lost a family member في حاجات اللي إنه حكومة بتحصل فكر قاعد يعملوا. We lost properties. Yeah, we lost a lot as a family. Lakin, we are very grateful. We are here, we are alive. All those things will be rewarded one day, one way or the other. Lakin, inta lama تجي تموت when you are going, what do you take with you? You may not be able to take anything. Somebody going to determine your fate. حتى لو إذا عندك الدبلة في يدك ولا whatever you have ولا عندك سنون ذهب ذاته زي ما إنه قاعدين نشوف دول تانيين بيغلوا بيفوروا من كشمك. It is bad. Look to that extent. ما بيسيبوا لك أي حاجة أنت تمشي بيها. And somebody will determine what you have to go with it. سؤال كله فاني. كله حاجات بتاع الدنيا ده. أنت بنيت عمارة عملت شنو الحاجات ده كله بتسيب وراك. ما بتاخد أي حاجة معك. لكن قيمة بتاعت إنسان. Look at somebody like Bill Gates, who is going through divorce right now. $130 billion. $130 billion. You have to split it 50-50. مرته. Okay. بكرة بعد بكرة أي واحد فيهم هيموت. We'll leave that money behind. Nobody gonna take anything with him or with her. So reconciliation ده بيعتبر الخطوة الأول. It is a process that we try to change our attitude towards somebody who committed us wrong, who did us wrong. Turn it, make it positive. And we have seen example. And last show I did talk about example with Mandela, and I went and elaborate about the example of my brother. After torturing and terrorizing or Tab Sabashur, he decided to forgive everybody. Somebody who made 2 attempts to kill him, he decided to forgive him. He left everything behind in the country. What he lost it, he lost it. He's living as a refugee in Egypt, struggling. He went back to his old skill that he's an artist. He does some artwork, he does some craft work. This is what he's doing. From the entourage بتاعت الحكومة الهيلمان والحراسة ومنو قايم ومنو يدبك ومنو يكسر عفش ومش عارف ايه والكلام ده كله، لأنه الحياة is simple. حياة إنسان فوق كل شيء. So the message of reconciliation, we need to find a way to forgive those who did us wrong, because this is what God proved it. When that reconciliation took place, yes, my brother will say, how would people get reconciled when the people who cause destruction are still there killing people? With my respect to you, my brother, I don't know which part of the world you are in, but I believe if I reconcile with somebody that looks like Salva Kiir or come from Salva Kiir region, or come from Salva Kiir village, or came from Akolkor village, or Matianganyor village, that they are terrorizing our people, they are killing, looting, raping our mothers, our sister, our brother. If I can just have a peace with those people here, because they are not part of destruction, they are not part of what is taking place, they are not part of this land grabber. With the exception of the few, we know them on social media very well. Each and every one of us is taking their oath. We know them by name and by their faces, who they are, who are مطبلاتية بتاعت نظام اللي إنه موجود في جنوب السودان. لكن the vast majority الموجودين معنا برا هنا, please, this is my message. Let us start reconciliation out here, because those who are in South Sudan, they are followers. They listen to us. What we do, they will copy and paste it. So it is our responsibility, because at the end of the day, after all this killing and fighting and gun and, destruction, we need to sit down to dialogue. We need to sit down to reconcile. We need to sit down and to talk. So some of them, it is true. Some of them are still, in power. And as we are speaking right now, the abuse, torturing people, killing, raping women, it is going on. But this is my rationale. This is my simple logic. If I continue to have, grudge towards the brother or a sister that came from Salva Kiir village, or he's a cousin or a nephew and an uncle to Salva Kiir here, in Canada, that will make me feel good. That will make me feel great. That will make me reset myself. Welcome, brother. Derinda, good to see you. Is that gonna change anything back there? Because the looter, the rapist, will continue to do what he used to, till collectively we can come together and stop them. Also, we can help by our reconciliation here with the local people, with Salva Kiir uncle, with Akol Kor cousin, whoever are torturing people there. If we are in a good term with them, maybe to somewhat they will continue to talk them out of, you don't have to kill those people. I have my good friend here from Makraka. I have my good friend here from Baka, from Mundu, from Balanda. Not all Fritit are militia. Not all Nuer are white army. Not all Shuluk are, whatever you name them. Okay. So maybe change will never come overnight. But if we stop this aggression, the feeling of grudge towards people that came from the same village with Akolkor. I have nephews and nieces from Tonj. I have extended family in Tonj. I have brother-in-laws from Tonj. My sister married to a very prominent man from Tonj. It is the same village that Akolkor came from. That will not put all Nas Tonj Kulu Nas Kabin because Akolkor is from there. This is my take. The same thing with Salva Kiir and others who are torturing people, who are looting people's properties. Yes, the leadership and few young men, Gabom and Murad or Robom or Musharif, kill somebody who doesn't look like you, doesn't speak like you, doesn't quack or walk or talk like you. But they will start to reset themselves. Those of Tugmayardit, those are my in-law. My wife is from Tugmayardit. To somewhat, she might be related to Salva Kiir somewhere there. My kids are related to Salva Kiir, whether I like it or I don't. It is the reality. There is a blood stream somewhere. If I have to consider anybody who is related from Salva Kiir village is my enemy, then I'm starting with my own family. I'm starting with my kids. I'm starting with my wife. I'm starting with so many friends that I know them. Where is it gonna take us? Maybe I can talk to my wife. I can talk to my friends. I can talk to my in-laws. Can we just find a way to coexist? Can we find a way to stop what is taking place? Can you guys talk to your uncle, talk to your friend, talk to your son, to your nephew? This is my approach. Because I am not going anywhere from South Sudan. I want to participate, to do my part, to bring change to South Sudan with my little voice. Yes, 14 of you, 15 of you are watching here. But if this message got a positive reaction from a couple people and they are willing to take it, yeah, reconciliation is good. But the question is, how if you still killing my tribes? Yeah, I have to start somewhere here. I have to pull somebody who is closer to Salva Kiir, who is closer to Akolkor to talk to them. Some of them will listen. They are human. They might have change of heart. because they don't have any interest, because we are living in the same community here. And we start building this relationship. When he lost a loved one or he's sick or something happened to his family, I am the one gonna be in the neighborhood to come and offer kind of moral and emotional support. Salva Kiir will not do that for him or for her. I am the one closer to those individuals here. Although people that look like him, sound like him, to speak his language, are the one killing my people. But how are we going to be the agent of change? If I have to kill here, then I am in trouble. I destroy my family completely. But one way or the other, this person might not have any connection with what is taking place back home. And I made myself clear, with the exception of those who are supporting the killing, the abduction, the land grabbing, the looting of property, raping of women or whatever, then those are our enemy. Because they chose to be with the devil. But don't you think there is innocent people from Akolkor village? I will raise my hand first, people, first person. I have my nieces, I have my nephews. They are very, very good people. Very, very good kids. Including my brother-in-law, the husband of my cousin. Do there is bad people within Fretit community, within the Baya, within the Kresh community? I will say yes. I will raise my hand. Somebody like Rizik Zakaria is a nephew. He's involved in torturing and killing people in Western Bahr al Ghazal. I can admit it. And he conspired to assassinate my brother twice, which is his uncle, twice, 2 attempts. The Sahara بتاعتنا. But there is a question that will erase, okay? فقبائل بتاع جنوب السودان ده, there is no people who are involved with this government, with Akolkor, with Salva Kiir, with all this security apparatus who are killing people, unknown gunmen, poisoning people, doing whatever, from other tribes in South Sudan. Why we are not pointing them out? Why we are not holding them accountable? ما لما زول بيقتلوه من قبيلة معين ولا من community معين, there is a community member, 99.9% is an associate. He is involved or she is involved, providing information about that individual. بينوم وين, بيمشي وين, بيشرب مريسة مع منو, بياكل مع منو, what is his sidekick الفهيلة هناك ومش عارف ايه. Somebody within the community, within the family ذاته. Why we are not pointing them out? ما في. ده منو ياو بيقول ما في أي member بتاع قبيلة متورط كان قتلوا leader بتاع بكا, بمعنى إنه somebody within the Baka community who sell him. كان قتلوا زول من باري, ده جانا باري ذاته يا الباري who conspire against that individual, and so forth. Latuka, and it goes on with Nuer, with Shuluk. So to somewhat, all of us, we are involved. We cannot point a finger at a single tribe or a single group. This is my take. This is my take. You may disagree or agree with me. Lakin, this is the reality. ناس القاعدين يقتلون في جوبا. Don't you think على أساس إنه عيال بتاع باري، عيال بتاع فجلو، بتاع منو they are involved في الحاجات اللي قاعد يحصل؟ Can somebody tell me when something happened in Central Equatoria that Wani Iga came out and condemned it? Martin Elia came out and condemned it. Abutu Mamour came out and condemned it. Things continue to happen to Nuer people. When did Riek Machar came out and condemn it? Taban guy. And the list will go on and on. Let us be realistic. ما إنه نوصف السحار ولا الحرامي ولا الشيطان بتاع قبيلة تاني على أساس إنه ده ناس فلان وده ناس فلان and we leave our own. The Bible said طلع الخشب اللي في عينك عشان إنه تقدر تشوف القش اللي في عين أخوك ولا أختك so that you can see properly, you can pull it out. So it is our responsibility to extend our hand to reconcile with those who are with us here in diaspora. ما كلنا تعبانين. We are struggling paying bills. Few هل إنه قاعدين يلاقوا دولارات بتاع جوبا. معلش. God will condemn them. We don't have to condemn them. We have seen it. We have witnessed it. على أساس إنه الحرامية اللي سرقوا موارد بتاع جنوب السودان يالهم ماشيين مطرطشين كيف حاجاتهم قاعد يبرجل كيف الدياسبرا. God is working. But I believe heaven will rejoice when you reconcile with a brother, with somebody that did you wrong. You said, hey, I forgive you. Yes, National Security Service, they are full بعيال بتاعت فرتيت، بعيال بتاع إيكواتوريا، عيال بتاع نوير. بلو هاوس ده حراسات اللي فيه والناس اللي قاعدين يعذبوا ناس في بلو هاوس ده كله. Every single غرفة. ده دينكا؟ برام؟ I don't think so. الناس اللي بيجوا بيحتكلوا ناس في بيوتهم بالليل كو معروف. واني ساكن في الحتة ده. ندرين ساكن في الحتة ده. حكيم ساكن هير. ده عربية بتاعه، ده مرته، ده عياله. ده عبيد بتاع girlfriend بتاع حكيمه. Just kidding. Where did they get this information from? The community member. So let us start with oneself. Let us start within our home. We condemn what we condemn and we reconcile those innocent ones. السحارة اللي في community بتاعك، الحرامي اللي في community بتاعك، اللي بيقتل في community بتاعك، condemn him, isolate him. لكن all of us, what do? We ask for their protection. How many individuals from Bari community, when they go to South Sudan, they claim that they are related to Waniga? How many individuals from Fajulu community, when they go to South Sudan, from Atarlo, is a hassle, أي مضايقات, oh, I am related, أنا نسيبة Martin Elia Lomoro. How many of Nuer, when they get to Juba, something happened, they claim that they are related to Angelina Tenjo, Riek Machar, or Taban guy, and so forth. And we don't want to condemn them al assassino, they are involved. Who is selling the Nuer people? Manipulating them using money. It is son of Nuer, Tutkeo. How many Nuer die? Because of conspiracy, because of muamarat, alinu Tutkeo gadiamul few. When we come out, we condemn the other community, we condemn the Dinka, we condemn the Matianganyor. But what kind of dirty job that Tutkeo is doing against his own people? The money of Kakayo with the money. It is Tutkeo. The money of Bargalo Sud Fritit, the Abnabet Afritit. Within the government, they use money, they use other resources to manipulate people with a cocoon. So my message is this. However you are going to take it, it is my take. There is no reason, Al-Assassin, to consider somebody from the other community that look like Salva Kiir or Akolkor or whatever, this is my enemy here in diaspora. No, period. Even Dakal Junub Sudan. To topple this regime, we need people from Jain community, 100%. This regime will not collapse. Salva Kiir will not be kicked out of power without help of Jain community, period. Dabunia biarif Salva binumwen kanazini amulongilap njambo silaha wala mama usila. It is people from his community. Hallo gadenum for J1, gadenum for Lori, gadenum for Belfam, gadenum for Kanisa Kator. Who knows? Dabunia window access to control al-bassa bita television bita Junub Sudan. Those are basic information we need. Shaneno yasal ingilab wala yasal Sora take over, they take control بتاعت الإذاعة radio television. يقفلوا مطار ومش عارف ايه. We need people from his community. So without their help, we cannot topple this regime. So how are you going to do it without them? You don't want to reconcile from, people of Jen, is all from Jen community by default. Al-Assassin, no, he's part of the regime. Let them prove themselves, Al-Assassin, they are part of the regime. Even the silent one, leave them alone. Because they are fighting within themselves. They may will take your side, they may will support you, they will come to your support. They said, you make good business with honey, not with vinegar. This is something we need to learn. There is people from other community that we can utilize them. There is people within our community, they are very, very dangerous. And this is where, when we start forgiving, reconciling, coming together, this is where the healing process will start. And the healing process is the hardest one. It needs a lot of specialists to get in. Religious leader, true religious leader who can offer proper counseling. Which religious leader بتاع يومين ديل لأنه ماسكين الكتاب المقدس من نص بيفسروه على حسب النصروال بتاع السلفة or بيفسروه عشان إنه يخدم مصالح بتاعهم if they are opposing the government. And then we need mental health professional because the entire society is traumatized, even in diaspora. So we need good counselor so that they have to work within the community, with individual, to console those people. This is where the mental healing needed to be done. And that will forge the way to coexistence, because we admit the wrongdoing and we start to understand each other and to know each other. When I start respecting people from other community, على أساس إنه this community ناسه ما كله بطالين، ما كلهم قتلة، ما كلهم land grabber، ما كلهم rapists. There is some good people. What are their value? I start to understand them. Start making friendship. Allow intermarriage. This is something that I talk about it in the previous interracial marriage. And dialogue will continue. So there is a lot. And above all, this conversation must start. Because with this dialogue going on, then we will be able to elevate ourselves, to have tolerance, to listen to this guy. Oh, from Jain community. No. Give them the listening ear, what they will say. Oh, this guy is from Makraka. I'm not going to listen to them because then as Makraka, I've got a lot of tea. This guy from Kresh, oh, nas Kresh, I've got a lot of No. We need to start this dialogue. And this dialogue will lead us, to tolerate each other. Think about it. Let me paint this picture wherever you are. I live in Canada. The Aboriginal people, First Nation, just to be political correct, هم الهنود العمر سيادة البلد سيادة الأرض أرجدهم. جاء الفرنسيين وجاء البريطانيين ومش عارف ايه they divide حتى الهنود لمجموعتين مختلفين. بعد كده جاء مجرمين التانيين من أوروبا كلهم، المجرمين اللي طردوهم من سجون ومش عارف ايه، ما كولومبوس شطته في نورث أمريكا. They came and occupied the land and عملوا what they have to do مع الهنود العمر. We don't have to go there. Until this moment still they continue to oppress them. في محميات مقفول على أساس إنه السكان الهنود الأصليين ما مسموح لهم يطلعوا من داخل هذا المحميات. Access مقفول، بيحرسوا جيش كندي. They offer everything for them. مرايز خاصة، سجاير خاصة، مش عارف إيه، والسجاير والمرايز دي ذاتها غير مسموح إنه يبيعوا في الأسواق within the normal city. ده خاصة بالنسبة للمحميات ده. سجاير with a specific code، مريسة with a specific level. ممكن تفكر فيه في شنو الخاصة في غبوات بتاع سجاير وغبوات بتاع مريسة ده. هل إنه ممنوع يبيعوا في مدن؟ Just think about it. لحد النهاردة we are in 21st century, it is happening. Okay. إحنا جينا لاجئين، they offer us refuge. Maybe أوضاع بتاعتنا أحسن شوية من الهنود الأصليين. ما بعد الامتيازات عندهم حق بتاع الصيد، يصطادوا حيوانات البرية، سمك، معفين من ضرائب، مجانية بتاع تعليم ومش عارف ايه والكلام ده كله، وبوظهم بمريسة. بيفتحوا مدرسة هنا، وبعد كده في ستريب كلاب، في بار جنب المدرسة within 100 متر ولا 200 متر. ما في ريستريكشن على اساس انه الهندي الاصلي يمشي مريسة، عايز يشتري مريسة ما في ريستريكشن، عايز يشتري سيجارة ما في ريستريكشن، على اساس انه المفروض انه يكون في السن معين. اوكي. جاء صينيين، جاء يابانيين، هنود ومش عارف ايه. البلد اللي انه احنا موجودين فيه الامراض بسبب انه في قوانين ودائية عايشين معهم بوذيين مش عارف ايه من كله انحاء بتاعت الدنيا ده. ما في حاجة لانه بيقربنا بأي شكل كان من الناس دل، لكن الواقع فرض علينا على اساس انه to coexist with them, to tolerate them. تلاقيت مع سيدو في اسانسير تبتسم له ابتسامة صفراء لما انه بيعرف، وكان كواجه الابيض اللي جاب بتاع كيكي والله يبتسم لك ابتسامة ذاته تقول له أحسن إنه كان يشتمك. أوكي، ده الرياليتي اللي إحنا عايشين بيه. فما بالك في جنوب السودان. أوكي، أنت نويراوي بيت بكا مندو فجلو باندا يولو جنجل غولي مابان bari bacholi, kuku mundu madi, you name them all. كان جيتوا في أمريكا ولا حتى مشيتوا مصر هونغا بونغا كابونغا بيعينوا لكم بلموكم كله في بوكسة واحد. ما في زول ماشي انه انت بلغورنم بتاعك نونغ بتاع شلوك ولا بتاع نوير ولا شلوك بتاع منو، ما في. انتهى قطوكم في صندوق واحد. How hard is it على أساس انه just to tolerate this guy who is in my neighborhood here. خلينا من دلع بتاعت انه هو احنا فرتيت، هو we are Equatorian، هو we are نوير، هو we are شلوك. خلونا من وهم ده. How hard is it على أساس انه to try to find a way, create mutual understanding to live with a Nuer guy. With the Dinka guy, with Shilo guy, with Asholi, with Mundo, with Balanda, Makreshao is a Grikuju. Just to understand him. If you can tolerate Al Chinese, Wal Hindi, Wal Aboriginal, Wal Almani, بتاعت ودام هتلر لأنه كان بيتمنى إنه يجي على أفريقيا حديقة حيوانات حظيرة كبير، يجي يتفرجوا لكم ماشيين عريانين، يجلدوكم يرموا لكم بنانا تاكلوا صاروا فيه مع قرود. You are living with them. تزوجنا معهم، ما في جنوبين مزوجين من ألمانيين من الجنس اللاري يولدوا معهم عيال. في تانيين قاعدين معهم في ألمانيا. I learned from brothers and relatives there على أساس إنه الألماني المتعصب بيجي بيسلم للجنة، طبعا بيعرف إنه الجنة ولده إنه عنده جنسية وأسود، لكن عنده جنسية دي طبعا بونس معهم بألماني. والله إذا يسلم عليك أنت أبو جنة بيسألك when are you gonna go to your country? We have a huge responsibility. This peace and settlement, Salva Kiir will not bring it. Riek Machar will not bring it. Lama Kol will not bring it. Thomas Rilo will not bring it. Pagana Mom will not bring it. Mama Nyandeng, Mono, you name them. Coronavirus will not bring it. It is our collective responsibility. I posted the link. We have to start working on it here in diaspora. And when we go home, and I gave example with that, you know, Sahbi Bariawi here in Calgary, if I have to go home by Iznillah, I'm not going to disappear behind the counter. Charles Itahili be good. So if I have to make it to Juba, I have to go and visit his family. نمشي نشوف ناس العدو، ناس what do you call it, Laduling, Mutamadel, to spend some time with them. And I will bring my family and I will meet his family. Now we are forging a new relationship. If I have to go to Malakal, I will be visiting my Sholo or my Dinka Padang family there, friends, relative. We are forging a new relationship. If I have to go to Gogrial, oh, those are my in-laws. If I have to go to Awil, those are my in-laws. If I have to go to Basalia or Tumboro, those are my mothers. Those are my maternal uncle from my mother's side. If I have to go to Raja, the Janabita Marodama is home. If If I have to stop in Damziber, oh, this is Ujuku. Those are my in-bloods, those of Ndirinda here. If I have to go to Tombora, oh, those are the family of Tombora there. They are our in-laws. If I have to stop in Maridi, those are our family, and so forth. This is the South Sudan Aleno. We want to build it. South Sudan Aleno, we want it. If it didn't happen in our time, but it is a dream, we can continue to embark on our quest for better South Sudan for generation and generation to come. The Jeng people will never enjoy South Sudan by themselves. Neither the Nuer, neither the Baka, the Balanda, the Kresh, whoever. This land is belong to all of us. So this reconciliation should start here. And that will enable us to coexist. Because if I'm at a good term with those of Dinka of Marialbai, Dinka of Tonj, Dinka of Awil, Vishonal Bakaleno, Dinka bita Awil, wala bita Mahala, da bijibu bugar bita Amshanenu ya kuluzara bita Fritit. I can go direct talk to their leader, to their chiefhood. We have a problem here. Why you are doing this? Makorofo de bukra lama beji fusuk. Amaratak haji ishtariu. Brakabuzato. All of us, we will eat it. What are you doing? It is through forging relationship. But if we are not in contact, we don't have any contact point, how are we going to resolve our conflict? Somebody gonna come from heaven? I don't think so. Look at America and Russia. Maybe السفارة الأمريكية بيكون عندهم أكبر سفارة في العالم في روسيا. And the same thing بالنسبة للروس. في جواسيس في شنو بيعرفوا على أساس إنه ديل بتاع مخابرات ديل جواسيس روس. They accommodate them مو جاي معروف على أساس إنه ده جاسوس this is a spy. They know عددهم كم 6 7 8 وين مش عارف إيه. The same thing, American, they are sending Jawasis with them, they are going. There is a contact point بين كوريا الشمالية والولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. They talk through other embassies. America is talking to Iran, Israel is talking to Iran through other friends. So how am I going to resolve a conflict with a Bagar, with a Dinka coming to Fertit land, destroying our crops without having a contact point with those Dinka? The same thing in Numali and in other places. How are we going to do it if you don't have a contact point? Are we going to encourage this vicious cycle of killing? No. We are civil. That is why we go to school, to resolve issue using science, address them differently, but not, we are not in the Stone Age. People used to kill each other because conflict for us, more for us, actually, so that an art because there is no communication. Oh, brong, whatever they are saying, I don't understand them, so I better have to kill them because they are not like us. But we quack in English and in Arabic. most of us, we can understand each other. It is a new rule. It is a new setting. I just post the link. Whoever want to come in to bring their perspective, they are more than welcome. Brother Jothab, good to see you. You know, one way or the other, if not today, Masirna, we must reconcile. We must understand each other. We must coexist. ما في حاجة اسمه دولة بتاع قبيلة. ده مسؤوليتنا جميعا على أساس إنه what can we do? What can we bring to the table على أساس إنه to coexist? We need influence of those religious leaders. We need mental health specialists, psychologists to get involved, to address us with all those trauma, what people went through it. صغار وكبار. يعني تخيل جنال انه شاف زول دبهو قدامه، هل هيقدر ينسى المشهد ده؟ Yes, مولانا حسن تمون، دعوة للمصالحة، دعوة عقلانية جدير بالتشجيع، بل المساهمة فيها. لكن هل إن الذين يريدون هذا المصالحة يستطيعون القبول بالآخر المختلف وبالحقائق التي حدثت على الأرض من الاغتصاب والقتل والتهجير القسري والإجباري وترك ذلك وراهم، والقبول بالعيش معا متجانسين، كما يقول الفنان الاستوائي شاب الذي يقول جيران مع جيران. Something sour. Okay. Yes, let me say this, Maulana Hassan. من هم الذين يريدون هذا المصالحة؟ الشخصية المتواضعة من ضمن الذين يريدون هذا المصالحة، لأنه عندي مصلحة في جنوب السودان. أوكي، فبعتقد إنه الذين يريدون هذا المصالحة مفروض إنه يكون this is a popular demand، ده يكون شعب بتاع جنوب السودان ككل. وبالأحرى ربما إنه الناس إنه المظلومين والظلم continue to be inflicted on them because my people are suffering. My sisters, mothers, grandmas, daughters, حتى إحنا الرجال. My people, they are not immune من اغتصاب وتعذيب واحتكار وحاجات كتير. So what am I going to do? How am I going to contribute? how am I going to make the voice of my people heard? I am far here in Canada. الموجودين في جنوب السودان عايزين يقاوموا. They don't have the resources. الحكومة مدجج بالدبابات وأسلحة وكل وسائل بتاعت الانتميديشن اللي فيه بما فيه فلوس. How are they going to fight? How are they going to resist? وبالذات مهم جدا جدا, our people are not united to fight this government. ما ممكن يمسكوا قبيلة كشمبيت هيخلصوا علينا. لكن لو إذا اتوحدنا كلنا شعوب المستضعفة في جنوب السودان, I think we can send this government to the dustbin overnight. But how are we going to unite? The unity of purpose. ما النهارده حصل لناس بلندا, ناس لو بيجروا نفسهم ورا, زاندا بيجروا نفسهم برا. ما هو ده بلندا. كريش بيجروا نفسهم ورا. بكره حصل لنوير, شلوك بيجروا نفسهم ورا, باري بيجروا نفسهم برا. But how are we Yes, brother Kwaja, no disrespect. I will talk about reconciliation because I'm entitled to my own opinion, and also my people are in the bush. My people are in Darfur. My people are in Central Africa. My people are in internal displaced camp, Dakel Wow, Ferraja. I better have to find a way for reconciliation. I better have to find a way to put an end to their suffering. Yeah. What are you doing to end their suffering? The government is buying people every day using their money, using their resources. Nuer to kill Nuer, Bari to kill Bari, Mundu to kill Mundu, Zande to kill Zande. They are doing it every single day. We try. Where is the mighty IO with the white army? Tooth Keo use his money and what is the Khartoum peace agreement? With all, the energy that IO generated, what is it? What did they achieve? The only achievement, maybe Riek Machar got his seats back and his wife got the position of being the Minister of Defense. But the fight in Western Bahr el Ghazal, my people start fight before even the IO to go out in the bush. And start with the issue of moving Wow County to Bagari, to go Bagari. Young men and women, they die. People been tortured. People lost their job. People were being pushed out of the country. They become refuge. They become displaced. And as we are speaking right now, Riek Machar is pushing on Western Bahr el Ghazal governor to accept taking Wow County to Ngobagari. Again, after how many years? 2012. This is 2021. After 9 years. You know how many people been displaced? How many people been killed? How many people lost their life? How many women been raped? How many family been destroyed? Riek Machar is telling Western Bahr el Ghazal governor like الشكل ده كله لشنو؟ as a matter of fact الحرب ده الدقيق ده كله دمروا بيوت ومش عارف ايه والناس ماتت من اجل شنو؟ لو اذا بعد الحرب ده كله now yes take Wow County and go Bagari. Leave IO on the side. What do you expect from Soma? The one that IO failed to achieve it. Do you think Soma will do better than IO? Anybody? Put it on this screen. Do you think Soma will do better than IO with the SOA that went in? Put it on the screen, tell me. I challenge you. No reaction. Because there is nothing with this government that the opposition can do. They set a block with all neighboring countries. Why Thomas Cirillo cannot put his foot back in Africa? Why Thomas Cirillo never been to the bush in South Sudan? How many years NAS been fighting? No disrespect to other opposition. Malongawan and Taban, what is his name? Paganamom, they are coming to Juba. They are going to the Oye regime. Yeah, 20 people are attending here. So it is our initiative. It is by the people, for the people. Forget about those political leaders. It is about them. It is about their interests. They can go and sit on a table if they were being compromised with whatever they need. They got what they want, then they give it up. So myself, I have interest. I am a stakeholder. خلينا نعمل ديمقراطية شعبية. Let us start with our community as individual, as a people. Yeah, brother Jotham, that is correct. But some of them on the public arena, they say something completely different. When they go in their private meeting with their tribal men or tribal women, they have completely different conversation. And this is the status quo in South Sudan. الكلام اللي بقولوه في المنابر هنا حاجة تاني، والbusiness اللي إنه going within the inner circle بتاع leadership is something completely different. So for how long we will allow ourselves to be misled? Who are those leaders? We call them leaders. Who are they? Who empower them? دمني أكبر لهم راسهم على أساس إنه somebody to say that I'm somebody. What they have done for their people, for their community. عشان إنه يشيلوا في راس رياك مشاعر. How many Nuer young men and women die under leadership بتاع رياك مشاعر? And people continue to admire him. And there is so many others. Why? عندهم قرون؟ عندهم ذنب سري we don't see it? What is their vision? How often they come and talk to you? Mbuku, you are just going after them. Our leader, our leader. What have they done? More than destruction and destruction and destruction. They will continue to do it that way. What is the definition of a leader? This is a BS. This is a BS. All of us in this South Sudan, we are leader. كل زول leader في بيته مع مرته مع عياله ولا مع راجله مع أصحابه within his community, within his villagers. But what are you doing for your people? I believe leadership is about bringing harmony, bringing stability, bringing prosperity. Inspiring young men and young women to do better for the community. It's leading by example. Willing to sacrifice, to serve their people. Not about a title. كل زول راكب له جمبور في راسه وأنا leader. Leading who? If you cannot reason the common sense, what will benefit your people? مولانا حسن تمون. إذن المصالحة من منطلق الضعف لا يمكن أن ينجح. إذن الحل في الوحدة بين الشباب والثورة المسلحة حتى النهاية، لأن الشباب هم أصحاب المصلحة والمستقبل. Okay, let me just break it down slowly. Yes, maybe I'm calling for reconciliation from a weak position from a weak perspective. ماشي. But كيف إنه how are you going to وحد هؤلاء الشباب? What is the purpose to bring them together, and how are you gonna bring them together without a reconcile, having a reconciliation بدون ما إنه يكون عندك مصلحة within those community? ما نوهم أنفسنا seriously، ما نوهم أنفسنا على أساس إنه في مجموعات معينة في جنوب السودان ده easy for them تتوحد whatever region including this greater equatorial region. بأنه وحدة بتاع الشباب بتاع إيكواتوريا. Just let us leave the Fretit alone, or let me go to the Fretit people. نسيب الإيكواتوريان. وين النموذج بتاعت وحدة في وسط بتاع شباب بتاع فريتيت. Because we allow ourselves to be follower. Yeah, brother Jothap, 100%. The link is there. I'm posting it again. You can come in and bring your perspective. It will be great. Well, appreciate it. We allow ourselves to be follower. Filangal wa alangal, agodo agodo, gumu gumu. And a lot of them, they don't have what it will take to lead. It is all about their self-interest. It is all about them. A lot of them are self-centric individual. So ما هي القاسم المشترك اللي انه بيجعل هذا الشباب يتوحدوا من اجل ثورة مسلحة؟ وين سلاح؟ What is the gun? ده منياو يقدر بيجيب سلاح. ده منو اللي عنده إمكانية، اللي عنده علاقات مع دولة، مع كوريا، مع بروسيا or whoever، أي دولة لأنه مصنع على السلاح عشان إنه يمشي يجيب 2 طن 4 طن 5 طن بتاعت أسلحة. دول الجوار كله مقفول، السودان، تشاد، Central Africa, Uganda, Kenya, you know, all of them, Central Africa, Congo democracy, كله مقفول. Brother Jotham. Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I will give you the podium. You have been following the conversation. You have something to add, and I will carry on my deliberation. So good to see you. You have been following the conversation. So what is your take, brother?
حاول listening on your show. I think we have been talking for a while now, you know, along the situation in our country, continuing to get worse, and our people continue to be subjected to, you know, attaining against themselves one way or another. You know, Brother Krikuye, to be honest, as an evil to occur, it only takes for good people to remain silent, not talking about it. You know, the reconciliation that you are talking about, what it takes for Rwanda to recover from 1994 genocide, and what it took also in South Africa to recover from apartheid rule-based system that divided society between one race or another. And also Nigeria has gone to brutal, you know, tribal war back then, you know. So there's a lot we can learn. But the only time you can have an opportunity to bring people together, justice must prevail. Lenas al victim of those who are Nazal Muslimin, Nazal people who has been their land, their censored land has been taken from them. Property without has been taken. Now to do that, you need a rule of law that is fair for all the citizens in the country. And as we know, there's no rule of law because there can't be rule of law in the country that is working. Ajat katir makan basel, a cattle, land grabbing, and you call it, intercommunion conflict, should have not happened. Because rule of law, the duty of rule of law to restore order. The duty of rule of law is to provide equal justice, especially to the victim, a powerless in the society. That's what it is. Now, أننا عارفين الحركة الشعبية هو جزء كبير بتاع الكارثة اللي حصل في الجنوب ده. نحن عارفين كلنا, وعشان كده they're not going to bring any change. But نحن برضو as a citizen across the board, قبائل كله تاع جنوب السودان, we should challenge ourselves. Have we done our wrong? Because Nazal believe support من when? They have the best from all the community. Lakin Nazal who are rallying, who are giving them a support, who are empowering Jamaat to remain in power and to continue to use ethnic divide for their own benefit in order to remain in power indefinitely. Without the support للمواطنين ده لو من بدي دعم لنازل, أنا متأكد المرتاح عند الشعب تاع جنوب السودان. But to do that, we have to have a courage. In order for you in your community, for me in my community, and other people to stand up to challenge the leaders within our community, political leader, and Nazal in the Sultan. الestablishment في جوبا الاساسا يا جماعه مستقبل البلد ده ما حقكم براكم. نحن عندنا stake في this country. زي ما قاعدين نسمع هسه في بعض من some of our community, whether their leader or their supporter, bidding their case that they were the one who liberated this country. يا جماعه من حرب, whether Anyanyuan or SPLA, when we took up the army, we did not took up the army based on ethnic fight. Gabila wide. Nahnu kullu قلنا نحن كله جنوبين نحن مسلمين. وأي قبيلة سام الأسب عدد بتاعهم. Whether أنت قبيلة majority سامتو الأسب عددكم. ما معنى أنت you will deny the حق للناس البسيط. لأنه الناس البسيط برضو ساموا الأسب عدده. ده ما بديك حقك to come to sit on براس بتاع النازل, تظلم النازل, تشيل أراضين, تشيل الناس في أماكن بتاعه. That is not going to work. Because at the end of the day, after doing that, القبيلة who claim who are the majority ده would turn against them. So نحن عشان يكون في أمان للبلد ده, يكون في استقرار في البلد ده, نحن كله عندنا stake في البلد ده for security of the South Sudan. And that means we have to accept one another to coexist. We have to treat one another equally. Okay? عشان كده reconciliation will be difficult. Okay? Because without the justice, reconciliation, لأنه الزول الفيكتيم ده لازم يكون certified بأنه هو فعلا ظلموه لكن حق بتاعه لقوا حق بتاعه. وعشان كده the key is within the South Sudanese, especially the young people. to begin to take the courage to refuse and challenge the establishment, whether in their community, whether in their power center in Juba. Then a director, you are taking the country, is not going to benefit all of us. And we are opposing, we denied our support. The Nazil, that's the mighty power. زي انا ما قلت قبل ايام ده هنا يا جماعه السياسه بواجب الشعب بتاعنا في اماكن ولا في الدوار ده النتيجه للاسف الادم الفيليو بتاع الستيت في جنوب السودان لانه زول بعترموه للاسف السياده في بلدك لكن لو الناس الماسكين البلد ذاته بعملوا اشياء الزول غريب قاعد يعملوا الليل ده هو يقول لك يا اخي شنو؟ ما هي is doing it you country. فعشان كده قبل ايام ده انا كنت يا جماعه when I saw the video and asked the Muslim I really agreed and I said Allah ذاته must be grieved لخلق الشعب في جنوب ذاته لانه ليه بس هنا نواجه دقيقه نواجه كله humiliation and abuse في الناس اللي هنا والناس الثانيه فعشان كده the key hand of the people of South Sudan. نحن زي تقول قبل بعض من الناس بتاعنا عشان يجوا برا كلمة صوت بتاعه في السوشيال ميديا نحن we have to be honest. But لو نحن بنقول حاجة ثانية نمشي ناس في الكوميونتي بتاعنا we support ناس who are dividing us, subjecting other people. You think it's okay because it's done for other people? يا جماعة بلد ما بدنا كده. فعشان كده this country, the future is the people of South Sudan to begin to realize that we have to begin to look at ourselves and say, you are a citizen of South Sudan, doing the hard doing the hard as whom we do high that security. لكن لانه الدولة بتقوى فشل هنا we have to not support the سياسيين المسلمون السياسيين subjecting our community to fight themselves because the idea behind inter-communal polarization of our community then otherwise they should have to remain في السلطة عشان انت تكون جاري دائما في المنطقة بتاعك you're not paying attention to what they're doing and the destruction they are doing in the country so that they displace people because to displace all Nas Bitana we have to change the gear by having a courage challenging the establishment in Cuba whether in our community either you change or we are not going to support you.
Jotam, hold it. Yeah, hold it. This is what I was about to ask you. I know you have limited time, you have to get going. But my question to you and the viewers, what are you gonna lose if you start forging, restitching, fixing our social fabric in diaspora? With somebody that come from Salva Kiir community, with somebody that come from Akolkor community, who are not in support of what is taking place in the country. What are you gonna lose, okay? Because change in Juba will happen gradually if we unite. A unity of a purpose, it will be much easier to topple the regime. What are you in diaspora, brother Jotham here, you are gonna lose if you start fixing your social fabric in diaspora? Leave the government, because how much power I have to change the government in Juba? How much power you have? Maybe from my perspective, I don't know, from your side maybe, you know, you have other means, but I am powerless, Okay, the only access I have is this media, this podium. I have to use it. So what do you think? What is your take? What are you going to lose?
To respond to the question that you presented, which is the good one. They mabugolo charity nahana tangadal whether في Canada whether في Australia whether what does it we should have to start where we are, you know. What is happening now, you already observed in social media over the year now. Nas bringing the Kalam, they very easily continue into a tribal stand. The thing is, our people has been poisoned, has been polarized to the extent even the us cannot get along. It will take a lot of work for carrying son and daughter of South Sudan. Have I played my role? If I play a positive role that can make a significant change, even if we are not presented as Sultan in the diaspora, have we done our part honestly? To answer that, we have not done so. Because I shall show the extent of the damage of a bond between the South Sudanese because of back home is affecting so many of us. But it will take a courage among the son and the daughter to say, Yajima, we are not going to remain forever. We cannot get along. Because Nehana, Muminin, they're not Nehana citizens that this country will go to Sudan. And we have to leave. Nobody is going to put it, not go nowhere. Denka is not going nowhere. There is going to be barrier or any Gabila is not going to nowhere. They are there to exist. And therefore, we must be able to accept ourselves and begin to talk in order to change the situation. It will require.
Let me say this. You admitted that you generalize. You collect all of us collectively. We didn't do our part. Let me be precise with you, Brother Jotham. You have messages. Always you come into the point, advocating for peace, for reconciliation, for unity in South Sudan. But what is holding you not to be a pioneer carrying this message? You have, the power of word. With your wisdom, you will be able to influence 1, 2, 3, few others. Because I don't think you are an individual that want to be a follower. So since you are one of the frontiers, what is holding you not to take that initiative? And when are you going to take this initiative? Because the journey of 1,000,000 miles starts with a single step.
It is true, brother, to respond to you. You know, each of us has a responsibility to play. As I said earlier, okay, and has a son and then a moral duty. All of us, for instance, and then a few years before the 2013, we had the Sudanese community in Memphis, Tennessee. And then after the war occurred, then Alaga can do, the band can do, them to celebrate independence. The last 3 years or 4 years now, we had not had any. So you can see the magnitude and effect of what has happened that affected so many of our people here. Even people sometimes used to, to go along with. Now they don't even talk. I don't know whether where I am, but I'm quite sure this thing affecting other people in Sudanese, South Sudan, in different places. But yeah, Jama, let us look at the context of the situation that we have confined ourselves. Whether what the future will hold for us, for our children, for the next generation. Keep it that direct. Without coming and say, Ya Jama, enough is enough. Yes, al-Currency al-Asr Yamata, Pagadna Nas, we are not going to bring Arua Butao back. But life must continue. The life, life, I'm saying that life must continue. We must not continue on that path. That خلقت كرسي الوجود والفتح الناس كانوا قسم الناس وشال على الناس. نحن we have to change that يا جماعة. In order for us to continue to with this life, we have to change the course of our country. And they might go together. If we then يا جماعة أنا ما متابع أي زول داري whether community, whether Gabila, whether Al-Junubin, let us form ourselves as a self, a new chemistry that can create actually a bond among the South Sudan. And to me, it may not happen roughly, you know. It may take gradually because it will have to take the courage for the citizen actually to be able to approach me, to approach other Gabels and let us change the course of our country by coming together and forgive each other and start honestly. We have to be honest, first of all. Because in the moment the whole that is hypocrisy. Reconciliation we have to be able to be empathetic and be honest to speak the truth. Again, to practice it. That's the issue. You will see the change begin to occur, to happen, and change the weather in the community. But that's one way. وعشان كده platform ألندا الناس wherever يعني change will have to start within. مستقبل الجنوب ده ما في دول بغيره إلا الجنوبين براو. نحن ممكن نكور كده ده change ما بحصل براو. شوف الشعب بتاع إسرائيل. How many of them, when they started the movement to the diaspora, okay, until Nazil achieved had without reaching that, by chance they ajada moving as they Muslim myself, we cannot give up, even if whether wala na guys whether Nasir bin done Nas don't get along, they don't get along. Victoria, then they don't get along and out. But Jama and Mutaji, there's a good son within the source. Rabbana Magas, Pinas Figi, we should not give up. We should have to continue. Negarban was Ana Mutakin and Lincoln Niada and Lincoln Longos Balada. But that Kalame, my brother. I don't know situation how to connect into Canada, but this is just a simple example I give you. Community has not been functioning as it should. And Natija, that's part of the last of the Nas, so they feel they don't want to do anything with Gabila Tane, or Gabila Tane, Radao fil Belen now. Lakin, Ya Jama, we cannot remain like that. We have to change. And to do that, naturally, the aspect is the hope and salvation of South Sudan. So begin and bring it together and change things in a real sense and honestly. Trust me, Nazil, ممكن يعمل effect في الناس.
Hello.
Jamine?
Yeah, you froze a little bit there, but your message is very, very clear. I appreciate you are at work, you decide to come in and bring your perspective. It is well appreciated. If you want to add something, I will allow you to send your final message, and then I have to allow
Yeah.
you to go and carry on with your duty. Well appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, like I say, أنا بشكرك again وبشكرك قال بتاعك ونشكرك relentless drive, which you أو زي ما قلت قبل غير ما بعرف الكلام. نحن we have a role to play. بالطريقة البسيطة ده أنا متأكد impact بتاعه يمكن هيحصل impact بتاعه في الناس ده. وعشان كده خلينا نحاول نقدر utilize the platform الكل برضه platform دايرين لابد لأنه platform ده should not be used to polarize to increase that already taking place now. Should be used our people together to help them in order to bring an awareness. نحن كلنا وزهنينا victim. We must all our hands together in order to change the course of this country for. عشان كده I encourage you to continue struggle and other platforms and our brother and our sister in social media that give positive message to bring awareness. Sharp بتاعنا especially you are being made as a victim, and if you are made as a victim, the person who are making you as a victim is taking you future to reject fight the war that will benefit you will not guarantee your future. John كده نحن ممكن actually we can change the course of what had happened in our my brother second again as you continue what you are doing our people
Thank you very much. Good night. Your perspective is well appreciated and positively received. Struggle will continue, brother. Thank you. Yeah. That was Brother Jotham giving his perspective. With that, I believe I will start wrapping it up. Good 2 hours in the middle of the week. This is my humble contribution. I hope during this conversation you manage to pick up something that maybe you find it useful. And we have a collective responsibility. We have to be the agent of change. Be the change, be the change. You can't sit back and allow people to do things for you. We cannot allow ourselves to be follower. We have proactively to start doing things. That little drop in a bucket, if it continue overnight, Hayamla has a bucket. Ding, 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 ding. This is my strong belief. We have a collective responsibility, and history will judge us accordingly to our contribution. If you did negatively to your community, to your society, to your people, history will judge you. Your kids will be judged accordingly. If you did positively to your community, also that is something that your children, your ancestors, they will be proud of it. Oh, my dad was a fighter. My grandpa or my grandma was, a social advocate or a political, activist and so forth. So this is our responsibility. Yes, not all of us have to be politicians. Not all of us have to host a talk show. But There is a way that we can influence our community by our deed, by extended help to somebody who is from the other community, bring them closer, show random act of kindness, act of solidarity, especially in the hard time when they have the time of sorrow, the time that they feel they are down, the time that they feel they are lonely. Show that act of solidarity. Unless they reject it or they refuse it, we cannot allow, it is not time of superheroes. And all this story about Superman, Batman, and Zorro, and all those superheroes, they are just a fiction. But community will evolve, community will devolve, nation will erase with collective responsibility. Let all of us be Moses, that we have a responsibility of bringing, taking our people to the promised land. Moses and his brother Aaron, Moses was a superhero because God empowered him, gave him other thing that not a natural human being can do. But let all of us be Moses. All of us be Aaron. So we work together for the betterment of our nation. During this conversation, if with a slip of tongue I said something that you felt offended, please don't take it personally. Some of you, I know you as a person, we met somewhere, we had food, we had drink together, and we shook hands. But some of you we never met, and you never know. Maybe I hope one day I'll be able to come across you and to say, hello, hey, this is Grikuju of Let Us Talk. So, and it happened. I met few people through this way. But nothing is personal. It is just an opinion. And your comment is well appreciated. And also your reaction. So this conversation will continue. It will never end. As long as I have the energy, I will continue to conduct this show. Let us talk. We talk about different things from all aspects of life. I never claim that I am the expert. I never claim that I know it all. I never claim that an abul mafhumia. No, I continue to learn, because also prior to shows, I do my little bit of research here and there. I talk to people, empower myself with information, and I'm learning. And we have a collective responsibility. If we believe there is no superhero, so forget about all those names. Forget about those titles. They project themselves as our leader. But are they showing leadership as a matter of fact? Are they encouraging us? Are they in contact with us? Are they inspiring us? This is the question you need to ask yourself. Just go back and ask yourself a simple question. In the last 6 months, I have so and so, this is my leader. What kind of message you get from him? Did you hear anything from him? In social media or any other platform, what kind of message he's sending? Is it a message of hope? Is it a message that I am feeling you, I am hearing you? This is a few words of encouragement. If it is not happening, if it didn't happen in the last 6 months, a year, 2, please respect yourself. You are mature enough so that to box yourself to follow somebody, like Darawish al-Mahdi. No. All of us, we have access to book. All of us, we have access to Google school. You Google thing out, you learn. You empower yourself, you get knowledge. Not like a long time ago that the Al Mahdi and the royal family are the one who have access to book to read book, even Al Quran. The commoners never have access to Quran to see how to feel the book, to touch it or to read it, or even they are not allowed to read it. Somebody will copy few verses and pass it on. And the same thing happened with Christianity. Not everybody used to have access to the Bible. But it is a different time. So there is nothing out there called a leader. All of us, we are leader. God empower us to be leader of our own. So therefore, maybe it is by choice. If we elect you to represent us, that is good. If we elect you to be our chief or our representative in a parliament or whatever, it is something completely different. But if you look at many of them who claim to be our leader, they don't have anything that it will take to make them a leader. Even when you listen to them, sometimes you feel sorry. Why am I wasting my time listening to this idiot? Yeah, I said it. Why I'm listening to this idiot? You ask yourself. Those who claim to be our leaders and they have big name and they have those thousands of followers, they follow them. Because they are numb and they just have this, imaginary image. Oh, this guy is tough, this guy is great. But when you listen to them, to their vision, to their ideas, even the art of putting words together, you will regret it, you will feel sorry. Yeah, so leadership is about, do they inspire you? Can you pick a quotation that this Mr. So-and-so said it, and there is a wisdom behind it that will qualify him? I got my inspiration from this message. Can you think about it? Those who claim to be leaders. That's a question we need to answer and to be honest with ourselves. Not because he's from my clan, he's from my tribe, he's from my village, he's from, related to me, just I have to follow him or to follow her. No. Put them in perspective and ask question. Brother Dol Largin.
Yes.
The presidential candidate for Republic of South Sudan, whenever the election will conduct itself, if it is 2030, 2040, 2050, 2080, we never know. It is a dream in a pipeline. It is our collective responsibility to make it real. Glad to have you on Let Us Talk. Maybe you just came in or you have been following the conversation. My title is very clear. This is the 4th episode. I am wrapping it up. So what is your take? What is your message to my humble viewers who are here and those who will come to follow and listen? The podium is yours, brother. Come in.
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Jerkujo. I just find out that you've been on the show for some time, and actually, when I just joined you, I want to say hi to your audience. I'm Dal Arjun, the leader of the UPLF Party of Sudan. I like sometimes when people are sharing on social media, just simply because I know we are being followed from across the world and our people are getting this message. And what I usually carry on social media and say and want people to know is the position of our party or position of my party on the conflict of South Sudan. One thing that I wanted people to, my observation now, and based on your topic, is that, you can see crises are still going on. And the reason crises are going on is because the problem has not yet been resolved. Even this the peace process you see in Juba, actually it will broke out. All of us know it's already broke out because even they're still fighting. But what I wanted to share with you here is very important for our people. I just wanted to tell our people that the reason we are in crisis in South Sudan, most and foremost, is because most of us we are actually moving away from God, and I have been discussing this issue. So we are moving out from God. Our leaders who are leading the country, actually, they don't believe in any God right now. What they believe is in their own power, that they fought, and right now they have gunpower. That's what they are believing on. And that's why you see, even the peace that has been discussed, they rather run to their friends in Khartoum, in Uganda, in Addis Ababa for consultation to bring peace. But they don't know. One thing they don't know is that peace actually is not belong to anybody. Nobody has authority of peace except God. People don't know this. I don't know. You will agree with me. I know if you be reading your Bible, we know anybody who read the scripture that peace is not a human thing. Peace is belong to God. And I wanted to share with you some of the reading that I just found from the Bible directly. If you
Sure,
read Psalm,
I will allow you to read because I believe in the Bible. But
yeah, what
don't you think, my brother, Mr. Lorgel, is God use people to make them, to qualify them to be children of God, because he said, blessed those who are peacemaker, because they will be called the children of God. Is it not the same Bible that God will use individual and make them his own children and qualify them to be a peacemaker? Or there is a hope that miraculously God will send a prophet or will send another prophet to come and implement the heavenly peace?
uh, well, God, I believe God can use people, as we have seen in the Bible. But the way people are being used, according to depend on how you read your Bible, God can only use you to say, actually, to say message to the people, or just give the message correctly the way it is actually said in the Bible. It does not mean that he's going to have like the authority itself. The authority is still for God, but God can use you to just speak to the people, and that's how He's been using people in the Bible. And most people will take it wrong. That is what we in the Bible. There are people are warned, actually. The Bible warning people of the people who will actually come and make themselves like false prophet. But I'm not going to get there. What I want to ask you, what I want our people to know here is that in our country it has no peace right now. It's a country that is founded without peace. And the peace that you see now people are talking about is not the peace of God. It's the peace of the people. Okay, what the people want, how they negotiate themselves. The peace of God is absent from our country. And that is why we are in crisis. And any peace, my brother, as I can share to you, any kind of peace, whether it is your family, your brother, or a country, if it has to be a permanent peace or a good peace, it belongs to God. And that's what I want. No peace belongs to human beings. If you see some country or some people have peace, that means that these people is a blessing from God. That's why I wanted to share it to you from the Bible itself, so that you can go and read it by yourself. If you read Psalm chapter 29, take it from verse 11. It say this: May the Lord bless His people with peace. So this is something directly a quote from the Bible. It say it's only God who can bless people with peace, a genuine peace.
Amen.
And again, John chapter 16, from verse 33, it say, I have said this thing to you, that in me you may have peace. You see, that is actually that's Jesus is talking and John is saying it. So like the way you say, okay, some people can say it. So John is saying this, but the message is from Jesus himself. So he's saying, actually, it's only in me that you will find peace. So that means without God, we cannot have peace.
Amen.
Nobody claims that there is peace. Now, you can go ahead and go Rome, in Roman, that is the letter from Paul, Apostle Paul. Actually, Romans 5, chapter 5, verse 1, it says, we have peace with God through the Lord Jesus Christ. So it means that, we only have peace with God. There is no other way. Like, as Sudanese, when I talk to them, it's like, I don't know whether they don't understand things or they just choose actually to be without peace, or choose a country to kill themselves for long. Because if you cannot get the concept that this peace is belong to God, so what you need is God. And then when you have God in you, He's going to bless you and He's going to bless our country. This is, my brothers, this is what we are lacking. Again, if you read Colossians chapter 3, verse 15, it says, may the peace of God be with you today. That is also talking about peace.
Yeah.
And it is in the Bible. All this one is directly, I just get them from the Bible. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want our people to know that the peace they are looking, they go to writing Addis Ababa, they go to Khartoum, they go to Nairobi, they go to Kampala. They will never find it. The peace is in the Bible. What they need is the Bible. What they need is God in Juba. And they will find the peace in them, in their heart. That is that is the only genuine peace that will bring the country into actually a peaceful nation that will actually be enjoyed by the children of God.
Thank
But
you.
otherwise, right now, there are a lot of devil. People they turn to devil. And that's why, they are killing themselves. Leaders themselves even turn to be something else.
But
So when
Brother Largel, before you proceed, I am not generating a counter argument here. What is your take on there is other country, they never believe in Christianity. Maybe they have a minority Christian and still they are under oppress. But those countries, they are kind of stable, to somewhat, okay? I'm a Christian believer. I respect other religious because also God allowed them. God allow, Jewish people to have their Old Testament, Book of Moses, and also God allow other nation like the Islam nation to have Muhammad as their prophet, okay? Because God would have then made all of us Christian. But when you look at those other nations, they are flourishing. They have kind of stability. Okay, they are not Christian. So, do you think God discriminate, like give His own peace to Christian only, or God is genuine with His peace? He can give it to all other nation, if I can understand.
Yeah, for that question,
Yeah.
sometimes you may see other countries, you may see maybe you wonder maybe if they might be living peacefully, and maybe you think they don't have God on them or there's no Christianity. One thing people don't understand here is that uh, God is actually wanted everybody to have peace. But the problem is when we actually walk away from Him and from His commandment, then this is where we actually will find problems. And those problems, instead of us using them as a way, a strategy to solve our problem, then we kind of making them like a very powerful. Some people like those of king or those of who are leaders now, so they will form armies to make themselves become strong. That is when God actually will kind of destroy that kind of power and make it peaceful for His glory.
Amen.
And that is why we are seeing those countries that now you see, maybe they still they don't, maybe they don't even hear about God. Those are better than the Christian who are pretending that they are Christian, but they are not following with the ways of Christianity. In yeah, that can be really very dangerous.
I appreciate your input, sharing the Bible with us, and I believe I put couple reference there. I will double check. So we appreciate your knowledge. But let me go back to my topic, because my topic is about reconciliation, healing, and coexistence. I am calling for reconciliation, finding a way to healing, to restitch our social fabric, specifically in diaspora, because there is no reason I have to hold grudge towards somebody that those of Matianganyor or Twek Twek too, they come from their own village. So we have to start reconcile here so that we can unite the unity of purpose to enable us collectively as Junubin to support brothers and sisters who are inside to topple this regime. What is your take as a leader of a political party, and you have a strong interest for settlement in Republic of South Sudan? What is your take talking about reconciliation, healing, and coexistence at this moment, at this juncture where our country is? So what is your take?
Yeah, I think reconciliation is really a very good strategy, but I wanted to warn you that there are many attempts of reconciliation process, and they end up failing. So the reason this attempt for canceling ourselves fail is because they are not using the biblical strategies of getting into peace. They, like you now, I don't know what kind of approach you're going to do. Maybe you're going to do social scientists, or maybe you're going to do maybe some scientific way of making reconciliation. In my understanding of union peace, all these things, they don't work. The only thing, the union peace that can work, or reconciliation among people who have been fighting themselves, who have been actually itself to the extent of crisis right now is only biblical strategy of reconciliation that will work. And I have a very actually critical way of solving conflict using Bible or using the scripture.
Okay,
So
just in a short
that's what
term, what
if that's
are
what we
the
can
key? What
do.
are the mechanism that we can use the Bible to bring reconciliation among our people? Factor in there is non-Christian who doesn't believe in a Bible, and there is also people who do believe in their African indigenous belief. Those are within the society. So we are a nation. We want to bring all of them together. So to somewhat, we cannot force them to accept peace and reconciliation biblical way only. So we have to come with a different mix whereby to accommodate the Muslim, the Christian, the non-believer. What is your take? What do you think?
You know, biblical, is a lot of people do not know this because it's not studied social science. A biblical approach of resolving conflict is a scientific sign actually, and it does not actually put you into belief. And by the way, even Muslims and Christians, they actually they can apply the same thing, unless if they are not religion, because at a point the Muslim and religion, I know where actually the difference is, but most of the things they share together in terms of is only understanding that some people do not. But I think when we talk of reconciliation and using the strategic scientific way of bringing peace in the Bible, I think it will be a universal. Anybody can apply. So it's actually a very effective and very successful way of solving a problem. And there are about maybe seven strategic components that you need to look at. But then now, when you master those seven strategic, then now you can now start the process of mobilizing the people and putting
Can
them
you
into
just name three of that strategic component without getting into the detail, without elaborating?
What you want me to name them?
Yes, those seven strategic components. Just I need you to name three without elaborating.
Okay.
So
Yeah, all of them, they start with what they call they start with the A, all of them.
okay.
They start with the A, and one of it is to address the conflict. So that is the first A that you can use to address the conflict.
Okay.
And I don't know how we will let me just name them so that you can read them, because to explain this I may need,
sure, go ahead.
You may need to bring me in another show so that I can explain them to you how they are applied.
Sure.
The other one is actually to avoid the conflict.
Avoid.
And then yes, number 3 is to admit any kind of maybe wrong, something that wrong has been done. And then the other thing is to acknowledge the people who got hurt, the victim.
Okay.
We have to acknowledge it. Then accept the consequences of what will result from the peace or from those reconciliation processes. Then the other thing is alter the behavior. That means to kind of you can work to change some behavior, and there's no. And then the other thing, then we can ask for forgiveness. So there are 7 of them, I think.
I have 5. I
You have
have
5.
to address the conflict, to avoid the conflict, to admit what went wrong, to acknowledge what went wrong, to accept the consequences for that wrongdoing. So I have 5.
Okay, add to alter the behavior.
To alter the behavior.
Yes. And then add another one, ask for forgiveness.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Ask.
So those are the 7 strategies directly from the Bible, and they are very effective if our people have a knowledge about it. I believe they will have actually find the peace actually already. But in what you are doing, I think if you don't know how to use it, it's going to be a problem, and then your work will actually be a waste and it will fail. So a lot of people, the secret for most of the people in this world right now, they are actually going back to the biblical principle of finding peace, because it was actually found out. Even scientists right now, scientists are now going back to look for things from the Bible, because the Bible now is found everything, even anything on this world is in the Bible. So that is why this is specific, is strategic. They are used for making reconciliation among people, among nations, and among groups that has been broken. And there is a surety that people will go back to peace if they are used correctly, the way actually is actually they are put in according to the Bible. So those are the principle. If you would like to make any reconciliation, I will I actually recommend anyone or any leader who is trying to bring people together actually to use those 7 directly from the Bible, and I believe you will actually achieve the peace that you want. And remember, always remember, you have to believe that peace is not for you, and peace is not for any human being on this earth. This is one thing that you have to, for you to be able to use this, you have to come to agreement. If you don't believe that, if you think that you can be able to bring peace by yourself or from your knowledge, then you will not use this principle properly. You have to accept from the principle of the Bible that the peace is belong to God, it's not yours. So when you apply these, we ask God to bring it, to give it to us. That is when we succeed in this. And this is what I use, and I use it. Is very effective, even for families, for groups, young people, for big and for a nation. This thing works, and it works actually perfectly. So if you chapter, I think Philippians, the letter of Paul to the Philippians, chapter 4, it say, and the peace of God in your heart and your mind. Okay. You see, it doesn't say peace of man or peace of nation or peace of government or peace of some expert. It say peace of God. Every time peace is mentioned in the Bible, it say peace belong to God. This is what I want our people to understand, because they don't understand that peace belong to God. Then you will not make it to have peace. Unless, so now, my brother, have you agreed that peace belongs to God? Peace is not for us, it's for God.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
Very good. Very good.
The steps that you highlighted them, I believe if you went back to from the first episode, I start with what is the injustice? That is, I believe that was addressing the conflict. And then by addressing the conflict, admitting the wrongdoing, And this is what I ask whoever committed the wrong to come and admit their wrongdoing. And by admitting their wrongdoing, automatically they are asking for forgiveness, which is your 7th step. But when they ask for that forgiveness, then we need to change our attitude, because they did us wrong, they admit their wrongdoing, and now they ask for forgiveness. So now it is upon us to forgive them, and also to change our negative attitude, negative behavior towards them, to change it into positive attitude. This will lead us into where we can start the process of reconciliation, coming together. And during the reconciliation, this is where the prayer, the religious influence, the counseling will come in, so that the healing to take place. And that will lead to coexistence. So I believe we are not indifferent, but I appreciate your step. Just using whatever I came with, we are kind of in line. We look forward. You have the scientific reference. Maybe sometimes we will conduct another show. You can come in and lecture our people, because we need to share knowledge. Somebody with your caliber, with all those study, what the American president said, Joe Biden, I love to quote him. His grandfather used to tell him, keep the faith, but the grandmother will tell him, spread the faith. So I just altered the same statement. We don't have to keep the knowledge, we have to spread the knowledge. So
Right.
Thank you very much for coming in. If you have a final message, I'm supposed to wrap it up in 2 hours, but it is a pleasure to have you and to have a healthy conversation with you. I took my note. I will go to those references to enrich my knowledge, and I hope viewers of Let Us Talk also, they pick those 7 points, which is number 1, I will repeat it: address the conflict, avoid the conflict, admit the wrongdoing, acknowledge what went wrong, accept the consequences, and then you have to alter. Instead of those wrongdoing was done, you have to flip them now to make the good out of it. Okay, and then number 7, asking for forgiveness. So one way or the other, we need to, that will take us to Rome. This is my sum up. If you have a final message, I will give you 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Jorkuju. I think I just wanted to let our people know that, all these things, they are really been prepared for us. And, because God loves us, I believe we're going to have the peace. So what I want us is just to keep asking God for in a prayer, and keep working very hard, looking for reconciliation, using the right tool, and I believe we will have the peace we need in our country. So thank you very much, Jorkuju, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you.
Thank you very much for coming in. Have a pleasant evening. That was brother Lorgen, the presidential candidate, when the election gonna take place. We appreciate his input and bringing all this perspective. Brother Hassan Tangun, if you are still here, I don't know what is going on. This Ramadan this year, people start celebrating it 2, 3, 4 days ago. I don't know when is the Eid, because I keep seeing message through other group here that it is Eid, nas بيبادلوا في تهاني بتاعت العيد. So regardless of what is happening, إذا كان العيد بالأمس ولا اليوم، نقول كل سنة وأخواننا المسلمين في جنوب السودان وفي السودان وفي كل العالم الإسلامي بألف خير. عيد فطر مبارك. زي ما بيقولوا صوما مقبولا وذنبا مغفورا، وربنا يجيب سلام ويجيب استقرار ويجيب روح بتاعت أخي بين الشعوب الإسلامية والمسيحية والدينية، حتى إنه ناس تقدر تعيش في وئام في بيوتنا في جنوب السودان. يفتكر إنه أغلب البيوت، مش هقول كل البيوت، أغلب البيوت في أخ في أخت في خال في عم في نصيب مسلم موجود داخل هذا البيت. بالتالي نتمنى إنه الأفراح بتاعت العيد تقوم وربنا يجيب سلام حقيقي في بلدنا، حتى إنه شعوبنا وأهالينا يقدر يستمتعوا بمعاني بتاعت العيد. أيضا من خلال Let Us Talk بنبعت تعزياتنا بالنسبة للشعب السوداني للشهداء بتاعت 28 ولا 29 من رمضان. افتكر في السودان راح دهية بتاعه مجموعة من طلبة جامعيين وما شابه ذلك نتيجة لإطلاق الرصاص الهاي من قبل الأجهزة بتاعت الأمن في جمهورية السودان. تعزينا لأسرهم، ربنا يرحم الموتى ويشفي المرضى ويصبر الأهل. كل سنة وأنتم طيبين أينما كنتم. الذين يحتفلون بعيد الفطر المبارك ربنا يجعلها عام بتاع بركة والنعمة على الشعوب. On that note, I just want to say thank you. شكرا لكم جميعا على أنه رافقتوني خلال هذا الحوار، وكل الذين ساهموا من brother جوتاب و brother Largen who managed to come through to bring their perspective. Our quest for peace, healing and reconciliation will continue. The initiative got to start somewhere. When I'm talking about healing and reconciliation, I'm not disrespecting موقع بتاعي زول كلنا بنعاني، بس انه don't be selfish على اساس انه ابوك القتلوه ولا امك القتلوه ولا اختك اللي اغتصبوه. الاغتصاب ده بيوجع، بيختلف عن اغتصاب بتاع اي زول تاني في جنوب السودان. It is the same pain. لكن what can we do على اساس انه to elevate their pain? What can we do collectively على اساس انه to make جنوب السودان better for all of us، حتى انه نتفادى جرائم بتاعت القتل، جرائم بتاعت الاغتصاب، نهب الأراضي وما شابه ذلك، حتى انه يكون في مجتمعنا يقدر يرتقي، يحترم قيمة بتاعت الإنسان، يحترم قيمة بتاعت روح إنسان، يحترم كرامة المرأة، كرامة الأم، كرامة الرجل، يحترم شرفها، مش إنه يكون ده موضوع احتكار. فمجتمعنا محتاج إنه لتوعية، محتاج لتوعية، لأنه للأسف الشديد حتى إنه اليومين دول لما المرأة يغتصبوها بقى موضوع إنه موضوع احتكار، موضوع إنه ناس بيجعلوا منه مضحكة. دي مستوى واطي جدا جدا، يعني لأنه أنا ما امرأة، لكن ما بتخيل إنه في أي امرأة برا هناك بيمشي على أساس إنه ينادي المغتصب تعال اغتصبني، عشان إنه يعيبوها. دي حاجة إنه we have to condemn it to its strongest term. بس يمكن لأنه في ثقافتنا، وده موضوع هتكلم عنها في إحدى الحلقات القادمة، يمكن في ثقافتنا في جنوب السودان في بعض القبائل they praise it. المرة لما يمسكوه بقوة ينوموا معه، أوكي؟ لأنه ما بالك الارينج ماريج لما إنه يزوجوا بيت بقوة يسلموه لراجل ولا يشيلوه ودوا بيت راجل ولا يختطفوه، ما هو ده اغتصاب. اغتصاب ده ما لازم إنه يكون زول غريب، ما لازم إنه يكون زول من جنسية آخر، مصري ولا خواجي ولا صيني ولا whatever. ما هو الديسارين مارج لما انه يشيلوا بيت صغيره يدخلوا ورا راجل يمسكه بقوه ويشرط هدومه وينام معاه you know يمزق عرضها. ما هو ده اكتساب. المرأة لأنه مجبورة يزوجوا له الراجل بقوة يقعد معه في البيت ينام معه بقوة، ده اكتساب أيضا. you know ما لازم إنه يكون من غريب في شارع هناك ولا جنكمين قاعد جنب برميل الوثائق. This is a level of understanding that we want to have. على أساس إنه to think about it ندخلوه في مناخوليا بتاعتنا. you know مرة مشتاقك عايز يفوت بيجي فورسها على أساس إنه تنام معه بقوة، ده اكتساب. you know yeah so think about it. ما إنه اكتساب لازم إنه يكون من الراجل المصري أبو عطوة أبو مطوة اللي جاب السكين، ولا الجانكي مين القاعد في طرف garbage bin وفي طرف تحت كوبري ولا حاجة بشكل ده مسك مرة نام معه. no دي حاجة موجود داخل بيوتنا داخل ثقافاتنا. This is just a warm up لأنه in most of our home okay just think about it. كم مرة بنت صغيرة عصروا شطورة عصروا جاباتها بإرادتها أو بعدم إرادتها من منو؟ من أنكل، من صاحب أنكل، من أكو brother، من whoever within the family member. أمشي ودي شاي والله بقيت بيت ما شاء الله ها ده شنو يعصروا شطورة لما إنه كوباية شاي تقع من يدها. ما ده يجاف هكا قاعد يحصل داخل بيوتنا. لما البيت يجي يكلم لو ما يضربوها ها هاي حاجة كشكشة بتاعك انت يا عم مشيت. you know so this is something happening within our home. We need to pay attention to it. We need to condemn it. We need to reset. We need to pay attention. البيت الصغيرة will never come around to claim على أساس إنه أنكل فلان عصر شطري ولا عصر جاباتي ولا مسكني عصرني في صدره شديد ولا قال لي تعال اقعد في راس كورينو. It is happening in our home. حتى in diaspora it continues to happen. So we need to pay attention to it. This is just a warm up. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for being here, following this conversation. I hope with my guest we manage to put this specific perspective. This is something we need to work on it collectively. You know, negativity, we have to leave it around. We have to leave it aside. We don't have to follow leaders الانتهازيين اللي بطونيين اللي they look after their interests and they are titled and they don't worry about the suffering of our people. Our people are suffering, we are suffering. فإذا أنت بترسل $50 كل شهر ولا $100 ولا $10 كل 4 شهور, it is affecting your budget. قروش ده بيمشي بيعملوا بيه وشنو ما في استثمار قاعد يحصل. كلنا تعبانين. We have much better chance في بلادنا لأنه بلادنا everything عايز يتبني من شوارع لمدارس لطرق لمحلات تجارية وما شابه ذلك مستشفيات كل الكلام ده عايز يتبني. بيحتاج لأيدي عاملة. What is the chance for business for Western Hemisphere? ما في. Nothing. سكك حديد, شوارع, كباري, أي حاجة بنو. But we have a better chance home. So let us work collectively for settlement. Salva Kiir هيمشي. إذا ما مشى النهارده هيمشي بكرة, هيمشي بعد بكرة بالكثير. أيام بتاعه في السلطة بقى أقل من أيام اللي هو قداه في السلطة. I hope everybody will have this hope with me. So therefore معلش احنا تعبنا قدر لكن خلي ننظم بيوتنا كمان ناس نصلح علاقاتنا عشان بكرة بعد بكرة لما نكونوا في هلا سلكانة it doesn't matter who is in my neighborhood. So Thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. I look forward to see you next Wednesday on Let Us Talk at the same time, 7:05 Mountain Time, 9:05 New York time. We will have a new topic. We will have a new perspective. And also, prior to that, we look forward to see you on Saturday on Zoom TV, which is home to be, as Brother Pastor Emmanuel reset us. We used to be Zoom TV is a place to be, but he made it home to be. So we look forward to see you, those who are following Zoom TV. We'll have a new topic this Saturday, 9:05 Mountain Time. Thank you very much. God bless you for stopping by, and continue to give us the energy to have this conversation. Please come back again. Bye-bye. Good night. Love you all.
Sambala wata